All right, guys, welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes with Mike. We are still in Black History Month. Yes, we are still in Black History Month. But unfortunately, guys, Black History Month is going to be over next week. And in today's topic, in regards to Black History Month, I want to talk about the fact that what a lot of minorities in this country take for granted, not us as blacks, but every other minority. And that's the fact that because of black people, every right that every minority in America has is because of us. All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. This is 5 Minutes with Mike. Our news, our voice, our issues. Believe that. Recently, there's an artist, country music artist, black country music artist by the name of Shabuzi, something of that nature. Really dark skinned young man, and he is son of an immigrant. Okay, his family immigrated from Kenya, and now he's here, U.S. born citizen. But the main thing is that he said in his Grammy winning speech. Now, it was his first Grammy win ever, and historic for him in many ways. But what he said in his speech drew a lot of controversy a couple weeks ago. And that was the fact that he said this dark, very dark black man said that immigrants, okay, the ones that immigrated and chose to be here in the United States, built this country. Lies. And obviously, with all the backlash that he received, he partially recanted those statements. Okay. The reason I said partially because he kind of, hissy fitted around or sissy fitted, honestly, to be honest, sissy fitted around with his response to the backlash. He wanted to blame it on his first time going to the Grammys. Didn't have it. But dude, you prepared that speech. I don't care if it was your first time, your 100th time going to the Grammys. You or your publicist, somebody prepared this particular speech. It's probably a publicist, to be honest, because it was too centered around a we shall overcome type of scenario. We all, all the immigrants did this, did that. And it's like when you're talking about, and I don't want to get into the FBA debates, Foundational Black American, all this thing. I'm a Black American, African American. You can call me either one, okay? Just don't call me the N word, and you ain't one of us, okay? But the main point of the matter is, we are tired. Individuals that are ancestors of black of slavery, essentially, our ancestors that were slaves. We are tired of people stepping over the things that we've done to make this nation great. Okay? Like literally full stop. And it's like a slap in the face when it comes down to it. And we can go to slavery, but it don't stop there. We can go to the redlining. We can go to Jim Crow. That is still today. We can go to the prison industrial complex. That is definitely very ripe today. We can go to every single atrocity that was done to a black community that was trying to make it. But then, unfortunately, those that were the deceivers, those that were the evil ones, decided to, just destroy many prominent black places outside of just, what we all think about that happened in Black Wall Street. There's a Black Wall Street in almost every state that happened, and, but there's no other thing that destroyed black businesses as much as I would say integration, Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have had the opportunity to integrate in a sense versus segregation, but integration did tear us apart in many more ways than segregation could ever have done because, we were kind of forced to support each other Now it's like, we go over this side of town, that side of town, and we get bougie. And this episode of 5 Minutes with Mike is brought to you by Michael D. Beckford's newest book, Homeboys. Everybody has a homeboy, or friends call his own. The best friend you kick it with at the family barbecue. The one you trust to bring around your lady without raising a red flag. A homeboy will play video games, smoke, and chill. A homeboy is a nigga you can ride or die, and the one you sleep with on the low. Homeboys, available in ebook and paperback or wherever books are sold. Things of that nature. But anyway, that's a whole nother point. The fact of the matter is, if it wasn't for black people, there would be no civil rights. Period. Full stop. Now, when I say civil rights, I mean civil rights in the iteration for which we know it that happened in the 1960s. Now, there's always, of course, been a level of quote-unquote civil rights for some, but just not all, right? But when it came down to civil rights for all minorities groups, it's black people. Got their heads smashed in. You think about the Selma Bridge, head smashed in. You got, scenarios with dogs coming after us, firefighters, shooting, spraying us with, heavy pressurized water that's almost like a knife cutting your skin. When you think about all these atrocities that black people are, that's a part of our DNA that has done for this country, all to say that, all the immigrants built this country. Okay, the ones that came over willingly. Okay, that's a slap in the face. But not just the foundation, of the country. Everybody knows, anybody that's serious about history and not just, trying to be political about this ish, they all know that black people, my people, built this mother effing country. But not only did we build this country, but we also built upon allowing the levers of others to enjoy the fruit of our, not only our labor, but the fruit of our innocent kids and young men and women being, unalive from trees. This is serious stuff. This is serious things that happen to my people. And we got governors like the governor of the state of Florida that wants to burn books like we in the Soviet Union. We have individuals like Donald Trump that wants to take away from the Smithsonian, not want to, but has, and taken away all that, the knowledge of what happened when we got a president that owned slaves in Philadelphia. But then we have individuals, whether they're Asian, Hispanic, Indian, others, that act as if what happened with black people is just like you guys are still lazy, you guys are this. F that and F you, bruh. Because at the end of the day, if you had to go through what we had to go through, you would have never left your homeland. Point blank, full stop. You would have never left your homeland. Because the America that my ancestors have had to witness has been nothing but atrocity. Nothing but a sheer magnitude of disappointment, burning down of our homes, using eminent domain to build roads on top of roads that was in once our homes in our land. All these particular things so that they can keep blacks down. But nobody says this when it comes down to the J community. Nobody says to the J community, lift up yourself by the bootstrap. Oh man, I'm sorry that happened to you guys in Germany. You guys just need to move on from that. Nobody says that to that community. But blacks, my ancestors, built this nation, built rights for others to be able to eat off of everything that we have. When it came down to women's rights, it was black women that was putting their body on the line. When it came down to gay rights, it was mostly black men that they're, in the culture that came out. We had a whole black president that actually pushed the agenda when it came down to gay rights, right? Let's be honest here, guys. Let's freaking be honest here. We're in Black History Month. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. That's all we're saying. Just get it right. Get the history right. Now, Are we grateful for the thousands of Hispanics that have crossed the border to basically build up America to where it is now in regards to houses, in regards to farm and other things? Yeah, we're grateful for that. But at the end of the day, no house starts without a foundation. This country had its foundation rooted in racism. Okay? And it was the blacks, quote unquote, that was the ones that was the foundation for this nation. The tobacco fields, the cotton fields, universities that were built off of black bodies, bro. So, yes, within the past couple decades, Hispanics and others, minorities have risen because the United States government has kind of made it so too, by the way, through a lot of different programs that are specifically for immigrants and the other minority groups, right, outside of black people. But anyway, the main thing is all the foundation for who America is, which stole over close to a few $1 trillion in labor, was already built out because of us. Already. And you guys just kind of basically had an opportunity to make the icing on the cake when you came over here. You know? And now, listen, I have nothing against any particular minority group. Only thing I have against a minority group is don't try to be like us when it's cool. Don't try to talk like us when it's cool. Don't try to, you know what I'm saying? None of that. Don't none of that when it's cool. But when it come down to being black, you go and you run and hide to the other places. And we see now with the atrocities of ICE that's happening, a lot of people are like, what are black people? Why black people not marching? What are black people? What? Listen. We done did that, bruh. We done did that. And we never stopped doing it. When it came down to getting unalived by these police and then the police getting away with it, we done been through that. And you don't got to go back to slavery to see that. You can go back just a year or two to see black people getting unalived. Not even a year, it's a few months. Come on, bruh. Like, we've been having to deal with all of this ish when it comes down to racial profiling when we go to a store. Subconsciously, and I think I know why blacks in America don't live as long as our white counterparts and other minorities. First of all, our DNA, which is a serious thing, had been stressed out. Secondly, listen, every time I walk into a store, every time I walk into a different place, I'm always under the impression that somebody's watching me, somebody's thinking about me, somebody's wanting to maybe even do harm against me because they think that I'm some sort of, villain or something, because of how the media has vilified to being black, how the media has justified the unaliving of young black unarmed men and women to that degree. You know what I'm saying? And so, once again, you guys still dealing with this ICE ish, which also is, we had a black person that was killed from the ICE as well, right? But you guys, as Hispanics, are mostly dealing with the ICE ish and saying, well, where are the blacks? Well, you know what? We warned you guys. When y'all was like, Hispanics for Trump, we don't talk together, all that. We told y'all, listen, Trump is going to be a disaster for this nation, for which he's proven us right. And we're done fighting for everybody else's rights. It's time for you guys to pick up yourselves by your bootstrap and start fighting for ours. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of 5 Minutes with Mike. Please like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Some of your favorite books from the creative mind of Michael D. Beckford are coming soon to quicklit.com.